Hey Ebriani, and welcome back. Today, we're re-diving into the complex story of one of history's most famous explorers, Captain James Cook. You've probably heard of him, the legendary British navigator who mapped vast stretches of the Pacific Ocean in the 18th century. His three epic voyages fundamentally changed the world map. Sailing on ships like the Endeavour and the Resolution, Cook and his crew were the first Europeans to chart the coast of eastern Australia, make contact with Hawaii, and circumnavigate New Zealand. These were incredible feats of navigation and cartography. They gathered massive amounts of scientific data, describing new plants and animals, and creating maps so accurate that some were used for nearly 200 years. For Europe, this was a golden age of discovery, opening up new trade routes and expanding their knowledge of the globe. But there's a much darker side to this story, one that is often left out of the traditional narrative. Before Cook's arrival, the Pacific Islands were home to vibrant, complex societies that had lived in relative isolation for centuries. They had their own cultures, traditions, and ways of life. When the European ships arrived, they didn't just bring sailors and scientists. They brought diseases, germs like smallpox, measles, and influenza, which were common in Europe, were completely new to the Pacific Islanders. Their immune systems had no defense against them. What followed was a demographic catastrophe. Across the Pacific, from Hawaii to New Zealand to Easter Island, populations were decimated. Some estimates suggest that in certain areas, as much as 90% of the indigenous population perished in the decades following European contact. It wasn't an intentional act of war, but the consequences were just as deadly. Villages were wiped out, and entire cultures were pushed to the brink of extinction. So, when we remember Captain Cook, it's crucial to see the full picture. He was a brilliant navigator and a symbol of the Age of Enlightenment's quest for knowledge, but his voyages also marked the beginning of a tragic chapter for the people of the Pacific. Acknowledging both sides of this history isn't about blaming individuals. It's about understanding the profound and often painful consequences of global encounters. It's a reminder that history is rarely a simple story of heroes and villains. What are your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and if you found this interesting, don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into history. See you next time.